Well, hey, and welcome to another episode of Beetle Dustino coming at you again today with yet another video. And I'm going to just continue my series going on showing my entire vinyl collection. And right now we're working on the Beatles. My last one I showed the US albums. This time I'm going to show kind of the core albums and what I got of the core albums, I guess, so far, which is not very big. These ones are a little trickier to find in the States unless you're going after reissues, and you'll see what comes up here. But before we get started with that, I do want to thank all my subscribers, and there has been a lot lately, so thank you very much. I'm about to get to a big milestone, so thank you, thank you, thank you. Big YouTube milestone coming up, and I am just blown away, so thank you so much. If you haven't subscribed yet and you want to help me get to that milestone, please do, and do hit the notification bell so you know when I got new videos coming out. Also, please give the video a like. It really does help out the channel, and do leave a comment. I love having a discussion with everybody. But let's get on with this, my entire Beatles vinyl collection. So yeah, I've been going through my entire vinyl collection. We've done Paul McCartney, we've done John Lennon, started the Beatles, and I've kind of done George Harrison, the Beach Boys, and Jimi Hendrix, but I said I'm going to probably do those again because it was kind of this format, but kind of not. And I've got a lot more on all of those collections, so I'll probably redo those too. Yeah, I'm just kind of slowly going through. Paul took a while. I think it was about five or six videos or something like that to break all my Paul collection down. I've really focused on Paul, I guess. I don't know why. He's got a big collection, I suppose, that's part of it. And I'm a big fan of his, let's face it. Once I got into his solo stuff, I really got into it, and, collecting the vinyl to kind of listen to it on that and enjoy it on that and find it on that. I've been having fun doing that. So, however, I said in my last one that my Starr and Harrison collections have got kind of neglected, like the Lennon one, but really they haven't, especially my Harrison one. I'm pretty complete, minus like live albums and compilations. I am pretty complete on my Harrison collection, so pretty happy with that one. So, but yeah, my Beatles is kind of lacking, and we're doing today the core albums, so the UK albums basically, not the US ones. However, there is a US one that's in here because it's now considered a core one, so we'll do that in here. Sorry, I'm logging into my iPad here because I forgot to take notes, so we'll use the interwebs as the notes. So hold on, do the magic of editing. This will all be out of here. Well, you know what? My old iPad just doesn't want to work, so words in the corner are going to have to work today. All right. So the first one up is Rubber Soul, believe it or not. This one is a UK copy, and it's a pretty recent pressing, not one of the newest ones, and it actually sounds really good. I've been surprised how good it sounds. But here is the jacket on it. So of course it does got the kind of the oranger Rubber Soul label versus the gold one on the US ones. But there's the spine, there's the back, and I found this in relatively good shape. I'm really surprised how good a shape it's in, but it is a fairly new record. So there we go on that. It does have a inner sleeve. I don't know if this is correct to it, but it's got this poly inner sleeve. And here is the record on this purple Capitol label. And I can't remember, this is a late 80s or early 90s release, like 92 or 88 or something. I got to look it up again and see what I found out on this. But it's a very recent release, and it really sounds good. I've been really surprised on that. I know everybody gets so picky on since the digital age. And I don't know if these ones did get digital or if these were still off of the original analog tape. Yeah, I've really been enjoying this one. Been really shocked how good it sounds. Now, the place where I found that one, they did have, I'm suspecting, several other ones from that UK catalog that I should have went for, but they were a little pricey. And that day I was like, I'm going to just go for this one. And I haven't been back there yet, and I don't know why, but I don't know if those would even still be available, but I was kind of shocked how good that one sounded, so I wouldn't be afraid to buy any others from that. And I mean, that would be a good way for me to complete the UK stuff, is to get more recent ones. And I know I'm kind of avoiding when did they come out? 2014 or so, 2012, somewhere in there. The ones that were based on the recent digital remasters. I've been trying to kind of avoid those because they get so much crap on, the sound quality of them and everything. So I've been trying to avoid them. We'll see what happens there. One of these days I'll break down and probably buy some. But up next, I've got a copy of Sgt. Pepper's here. Yeah, I suppose even if I got a US copy, I would throw this in with this because, like I said, it's the core collection that I'm showing here. But there is my cover. And there is the spine, and there is the back. And I found this at my local Target because this is the 2017 remix that came out, and it's only the single disc version. There's the gatefold now. And let's take a look at all the goodies that come with it. So, of course, the inner sleeve, that cool psychedelic artwork, and I think I'm holding it upside down. How about that? There we go. So there we go on that. And what would Sergeant Pepper's be with the cutout mustache? I don't know why the cutout mustache over anything gets me. There that is. And then this one did come with a little booklet, of course, for the remix, the 2017 remix. Or pamphlet, I don't know what you call this. Real nice thick cardboard on it though, so real quality. And at the time I got this, I opened it up and I was not saving hype stickers at the time, and I really am kind of kicking myself because the hype sticker on this one was kind of important for this release. Aside from that one little pamphlet, you really can't tell. But there is the disc on a Parlophone label. Nice 180 gram heavy vinyl. And especially after holding that 80s or 90s rubber sole, you can really feel the difference, because I swear in the 80s and the 90s there, vinyl got thinner and thinner and thinner. And I believe this is a half-speed master, if I remember correct. So, does it say there? I think I can kind of see. Mastered at Apple Studios, half-speed, yep. Abbey Road, Apple Studios, no, Abbey Road Studios at half-speed. It does say that there. I can see it in the matrix there. But there we go. There is Sgt. Pepper's. And up next, I've got kind of a trio of the same album, and it's Magical Mystery Tour. And I believe all mine are stereo. I got to double check on some of these. I know this one is for sure. I think the other ones are too. I think it does say. This one is definitely my best copy of it. I found this at an antique shop in Bemidji, Minnesota. I think I've talked about this before on here. Really great shape. I couldn't believe how good a shape this was in. Wasn't terribly priced, so I picked it up. But it does have the booklet still attached. Of course, we'll go through that real quick. And there it is. I suppose we're all familiar with it. There's a good one. We'll stop it there because we're all familiar with it. We know what's there. No inner sleeve with it, but it is the rainbow capital label. I do believe, from what I looked up on the matrices on this, this is an original pressing, or one of the first rounds there. So it is a true 60s pressing. But there that is. And these next ones I got from my cousin. So the jackets and that are not in the greatest shape. So we're not going to focus too much on that. I don't believe the booklet's even in this one anymore. But what is cool is the vinyl on these. And yeah, this one is a stereo. And that is a green capital label one, which I think is really cool. And the vinyl, no, there's some scratches on it. Yeah, there's some more. I've never tried to play these ones. I think they're kind of cool. I'm just kind of keeping them collectible for the label. I think that's very cool. And here is the other one. Probably, I don't know which one's in worse shape, but yeah, this one's also stereo, and this one is on the orange capital label. So pretty cool. I've got 3 copies of it. 2 of them were given to me, but those 2 are 2 different labels than the ones that I've already got. So that's kind of cool. Kind of getting a little collection on that. However, the jackets leave something to be desired on these other 2. But it's good that I got a really good one on that one. So that makes up for it, I guess, right? And plus, my cousin gave me these, so, you know, you can't say no to that. And another one for my cousin, and this one is really kind of cool. Like I said, I always think these white albums got quite a story to tell. I see other people showing copies they find when they're out record hunting, or ones that are in their collection that are in unique situations like that. This one, I believe, is an original. It's got the numbers on it. So this might be kind of an original, and it's also got Kyle's name on it, so... but it is no longer a gatefold. It's all taped together, and I figured out from looking at it, it's actually inside out. I'll show you when I get the record out here. Be really careful with that. You can see the the pictures of the guys are on the inside of the sleeve, not the inside of the gatefold, but it is on the Apple label. There we go. This is disc 1, so side 1, side 2, and disc 2, side 3, and side 4. And here we go with yet another copy of the White Album. This one is, I found this at Electric Fetus in Minneapolis. I was very excited to find it. Decent price. It is an 80s pressing, a very early 80s pressing. Jacket was in great shape, and it was marked on the little price tag that it was complete, and it sure is. I think it looks great for what it is. I know it's not an original. It does have the pictures here, the portraits, but they're a little different because they're kind of on a perforated sheet all together here, and it's a real thin. So there's George and John. Paul and Ringo were upside down. There's Paul and Ringo now, and George and John are upside down. But yeah, it's all together, and that kind of impressed me that these weren't even, tore out from each other, even though they're perforated. It does include the poster. Fold that out. It's a little, I feel like the color on it is a little much for what this poster should be. But there we go. There's the poster. Oh, and I suppose the back, we got the lyrics, so I'll show you that. It is kind of a two-sided thing. And what I found interesting when I looked at this was the labels. It's on Rainbow Capital labels. And this is the sleeves it came with. It's got a poly liner in here, but yeah, it doesn't look to be attached to the sleeve. Yeah, maybe it is. I don't know. But I don't know if that's original to it, but nice it came with that. But there's side 1 on that Rainbow Capital label, and side 2. And same sleeve with that one, but there's side 3 of disc 2 and side 4. And then up next, and this one is from my parents' collection. This one is one of the ones that helped me fall in love with the Beatles, because when I did start listening to them, I dug this out. I went through their cassette collection and their LP collection, found anything Beatles I could find, and I really gravitated to this. This was probably one of my favorites out the gate. They had a cassette version of this too, so I really got Abbey Roaded in. Nice original one, I'm pretty sure. There's on the Apple label. There's side 1, and there's side 2. And this has been in pretty good shape. I've been really happy with it, and I've listened to it a lot when I was younger. I'm listening to it a lot again. Yeah, was really glad this was in my parents' collection. Up next, we got Let It Be. And this one was from my cousin also, and I really haven't looked at this too much since I got it, because I've got another copy, and I've been really happy with that. But there's the gatefold on it, and I can see the sides are splitting a little here. Unfortunately, my parents' Abbey Road didn't have an inner sleeve. This one does. That might be correct to it. And you can see already it's the red Apple label. So here in the States, we got a red Apple on Let It Be. There's side 1 and side 2. And this looks to be in pretty good shape, so I have to give this one a spin, see how it does. Side 2 needs to get a little cleaning, it looks like, but still not bad. And last but not least, we got Let It Be again. This one was one that I had found before my cousin gave me that copy of it. This one's in pretty decent shape. Not great, but very acceptable by my standards. So I know it plays great. I've listened to it a few times. There's the gatefold again. Came with this inner sleeve. I don't believe that's correct. It's poly-lined. Don't believe that's correct. And once again, the red Apple label. Side 1 and side 2. And that one I did find in my local record shop, Budget Music. Was very happy to see it when I got in there. I hadn't been in for a while, and they had a really good Beatles supply. I kind of bought them out, and somebody else was buying a bunch too. So and then I came back in one day, and they had that sitting there, and I'm like, oh, I'm going home with that. So yeah, anyways, that is my core Beatles album collection that I got so far. So I got quite a few holes in this one. I know I need a Yellow Submarine, a Sgt. Pepper's I'd be really happy with, and I would like to go back and start finding, like I said, even if I find some reissues like that Rubber Soul one is, I'd be, and that, in a way, that White Album one, I guess, from the 80s. Kind of those 80s, 90s reissues would be kind of fun. I'm really trying to avoid those recent reissues for some reason. I think part of it is, too, is I feel like someday I might just stumble upon one of the boxes and, hopefully have some money, and I find it at a decent price, and I get the box. That might be part of why I'm like, I don't want to get a bunch of the individual ones, because I'd rather have them in the box. And I guess kicking myself, I didn't buy it when it was out. I thought about it several times, and I just never had the money, even when it was at, $400, whatever, to save up for it. Now I got a little more spendable money, but we'll see what happens. Now it's going to be a lot more than $400, though, I'm sure, even though nobody likes the mixes on them. So at least that's what the internet tells me. I know Beatley Tone's happy with his. I know he got one recently, and he's been very happy with it. So who knows? I know I'm not a big audiophile, so it probably wouldn't bother me either. Yeah, anyways, I'm going to get wrapping up before I get, rambling on too much here. I'm going to do probably another episode of this yet, too, where I'll do kind of the compilations and live albums and singles. I think I got enough to make a decent video with just that, so, and not be too long. So we'll probably go into that in the next episode there. And then I probably will do another one with kind of the oddities, like cover albums by other artists, like various artist things, or just the weird stuff that came out in the 60s, which I've showed on my channel before, some of them, but just to show them all together would be kind of cool. Yeah. So anyways, I am going to get wrapping up. Before I do totally wrap up, I do want to thank all my subscribers, and thanks to any new subscribers. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please do. Really is going to help out the channel. I'm really close to a big milestone, like I said at the beginning. And also, if you did like the video, please give it a like. And like I always say, if you have stuck around to this point, you must like it. So please give it a like and do leave a comment. I love having a discussion with everybody. But I am going to get wrapping up. Yeah, let me know what you've got in your collection. As I said, have a discussion with you, and I didn't give you a discussion topic. But yeah, just let me know what your core vinyl collection is. Have you been collecting them since the 60s? You know, if you're from the UK, I'm sure it's a lot easier for you to find those UK albums. Or you got some tips and tricks for me on like reissues from the 70s and 80s that would be worthwhile having. Let me know. I suppose, actually, in the US, the reissues of the UK albums probably wouldn't have been until the CDs got released in 87.
That is correct.
So that Rubber Soul probably would have been one of the first reissues of a UK album in the US. So without going to import stuff, that might be the era that I need to be looking at. So let me know, is that worth collecting some more from that? Let me know your thoughts on the newer mixes. Do you think they're worth collecting, you know, even individually? As that might end up being the case too. Who knows? Because I've you know, been years and I haven't came across one of those boxes yet. So I guess, who knows? All right. But anyways, before I get rambling too much more, I think I've already said that. I'm going to totally get signed out. I am Beatle Dustino, signing out.